What's up, guys? Welcome to part 2 of ranking UFC fighters based on how likely they are to become champion. Now, in the first video, I did flyweight all the way up to lightweight. Now we're doing welter to heavyweight. The tiers are as follows: bet the house, likely, 50-50, unlikely, and no chance, or not a snowball's chance in hell. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to be placing these guys based on which tier I think they fit. I'll be moving them around throughout the video. Part 1 is live. If you haven't seen it, check it out after this one. I'll link it at the end of the video. Let's get into it. First up is Iangarry. I'm putting him in 50-50. Now, Ian, he has a fight against Islam coming up at UFC 330. He's a great striker. You know, he is what I thought JDM would be in his fight with Protes. Great striker, decent grappler too, underrated. Took down Protes 4 times. Granted, it was like 4 out of like 19 or something crazy. Took Shavkat's back at one point. Decent grappling, just nowhere near Islam's grappling. I think Islam gets that win. But even if Islam wins, he's going to retire one day in the next 2-3 years, 3 years max. And then Gary could find himself fighting Protes, Morales, or somebody else for the vacant welterweight belt. And he already beat Protes once, and I think he's a very skilled fighter. So there is a chance he could find his way to the belt, even if he loses against Islam. Next is Protes. I'm going to put him in 50-50 as well. With Iangarry fighting Islam, I assume Protes will fight Morales for a number one contender shot. And then from there, I could see that being 50-50. I mean, both these guys have crazy knockout power. Protes, he's predominantly a striker. Morales, his grappling is very underrated. He's got a great wrestling and judo base. I mean, he is honestly a great grappler, so that could neutralize Protes. But if Protes does get the win, I could see him fighting Iangarry and beating him in a rematch. I do think that he has the skills necessary. I mean, this guy has I think 19 of his wins, 19 of his 24 wins are by knockout. He's on a 10-fight knockout streak. Lost to Iangarry by decision, but he dropped him in the 4th round, 4th or 5th, I believe. He definitely has the power to get it done. He's seen Iangarry once. He could definitely adapt to that style. And he's looking better and better. I mean, he just dominated JDM. That was a crazy fight. So 50-50, I give him the edge over Gary, but I do think he loses to grappling heavy guys like Morales and Islam. Seanbrady. Now, Sean, he's coming off of a great win over Joaquin Buckley. That being said, I don't know why Brady's here. Brady should be, he's actually 5th behind JDM, I believe. So 3rd is Morales. I'm putting Morales in bet the house. I mean, this guy is massive for the welterweight division. He walks around at 220. Just knocked out, it was November. Knocked out Brady. Crazy power, great grappling, judo, wrestling. I mean, he could make a run at welterweight. I think Islam should be pound for pound number 1. You know, he's a well-rounded fighter. He's a double champion. But of anybody in this division, I'm the most worried about him fighting Michael Morales. Michael is well-rounded, massive for the division, crazy power. I mean, I legitimately believe that Michael Morales could move up to middleweight and knock out, you know, some of the top tier guys up there. Like he's a heavy welterweight, could move up and make a decent run. Like imagine Michael Morales versus joepyfer. A hydrogen bomb versus hydrogen bomb. Someone could get chinned very badly in that fight. I see Michael Morales hanging with the top tiers in welterweight and middleweight. So I'm going to put him in bet the house. I definitely think he has a path to the title shot in either division and then winning the belt in either division. JDM, unlikely. JDM is, what is he on? Beat Bilal, lost to Islam, lost to Protes. 2-fight losing streak. Granted, Islam and Protes are great. You know, they're not bad losses at all. They're very respectable. Those are great fighters. That being said, we've already seen him against Islam, a great grappler. There are other great grapplers in the division. There's Brady, there's Morales, there's Yaroslav Amosov coming up. There is, power punchers like Morales. Just got TKO'd by Protes. I mean, JDM, man, his game is just too underdeveloped. He's not well-rounded enough to hang. And then even if he does develop himself in the years to come, he is young. He's like 29, I believe. He's pretty far from the title. I mean, he needs at least 2 wins just to be in title contention, I would say. You know, he's fought down against Protes from the champion, or he was champion, took on Islam, fought down against Protes. He's going to have to fight down again. Maybe Leon Edwards, but that's a gimme fight. I wouldn't even give him too much praise for that. So I think unlikely is fair for JDM. Maybe not fair, but realistic. Seanbrady, man, Seanbrady lost to Morales, dominated Joaquin Buckley. He has decent wins. I mean, he has a questionable loss to Bilal, which stands out. Questionable in that you would not expect it if you were looking at his most recent fight against Joaquin, or his win against Leon Edwards. Brady is, I'm going to put him in 50-50. I think iangarry and Protest are decently above Brady. The tiers vertically, they are what they should be, but horizontally, don't put too much stock into who's ahead of who. It's mostly going to be where they are chronologically in this video. Brady, I think he could submit Carlos Protest. I think his ground game is phenomenal, but so many guys ahead of him, and there's so many top-tier guys like islammakhachev. He already lost to Morales. I see that happening again. Brady is pretty small for welterweight, so I think 50-50 is more than fair. Khamzatchimaev, this is interesting. I want to put him in 50-50 just because his weight cut to middleweight, they say he was looking to fight Yuri at 327. That's why he was, it was so hard for him to cut weight. I don't know if that's true or not, but took 2 rounds off of Sean, 1-4. That being said, he lost to Seanstrickland. I don't think he can cut back down to middleweight and get that W. He could go up, though, to light heavyweight and have a decent run. I don't know how good Ankalaev's wrestling is. I haven't, hasn't come out in at least his last 3 fights. It didn't come out in either of the Pereira fights, really. I mean, not executed to completion, but not the Pereira fights, not the Rakic fight. So we haven't seen Ankalaev wrestle, but he's probably the best wrestler in light heavyweight. I definitely think that Khalilrountree has said that Khamzatchimaev beats him in training. So if Khamzat, training or cutting to middleweight is beating Khalil at light heavyweight in his off season, that's a pretty crazy feat. I think that he would definitely ragdoll guys like, I don't know, Jamal Hill. Who else? Jan's getting older. He's 43. I don't want to say Yuri, but we haven't really seen Yuri wrestle too much. I mean, he has that submission over Glover, but that was years ago. So I think 50-50 is fair for Khamzat. He has 2 weight classes where he could, make a decent title run, but middleweight's going to be real tough for him. Light heavyweight, a lot of these guys are untested in the grappling, I would say. DDP, I think that's likely. I think DDP, I think he beats Usman. He's the favorite in that fight. I think he's like minus 325. I see him getting it done. From there, Usman, that's not the best win at the moment, especially if he moves up to middleweight, but DDP can make a claim that, hey, I beat one of the best welterweights of all time. I've already beat Seanstrickland twice, even though one of those is controversial. Could make a claim to a title shot. And I could see DDP beating Seanstrickland in that trilogy fight. I definitely think that DDP probably has one of the more likely, claims to a title shot, and then, a decent argument for winning of all the guys in this video. So DDP, I'm going to put him in likely for now. Joepyfer, dude, this might be controversial. Joe should be like, I think he's 4th or 5th. Yeah, I think he's ahead of Brandon Allen. Imavov. Okay, Imavov is next up. I'm going to put him in 50-50. Imavov has lost to Seanstrickland already. He has decent wins over top guys like Kyle Barallo, who, interestingly enough, wasn't in the Med-AI top 5. Imavov, he's a good fighter. He's beat Izzy. Granted, that's a past prime Izzy. He's lost to Strickland. I definitely think that Imavov will get the next title shot at middleweight, but I don't see him hanging with Strickland. I really don't. 50-50, I mean, I think that's fair. Even if he loses, like, he is beating other top-tier guys in the division. So I'll leave him in 50-50. Joepyfer, I'm going to put him in likely. Joepyfer, I think, will become a champion in middleweight one day. I definitely think that he's somebody that he's well-rounded. He submitted Abbas Magomedov at 320. That one is aging well. Abbas just got a sub in his most recent fight in the Torres Fiziev card. Knocks people out left, right, and center. Just knocked out Izzy. I think it was a TKO technically, but beat Izzy. Dominated him. I think he definitely could grow. He's a younger guy, could grow through the middleweight division, and he could become champion one day. Has crazy power, well-rounded. I favor him in a lot of his matchups. Brandon Allen, unlikely. Brandon Allen just beat Edmund Shabazian, who I believe is unranked at the moment. He has wins over who? Let me think of notable Brendan. I mean, he's lost to Strickland once already. He's lost to Imavov, lost to Hernandez. I mean, he's beat RDR. He has some, like, beating RDR is, it's okay. I mean, RDR is an interesting one. I mean, he's not even, that's such an interesting one. He's lost to top tier guys though in middleweight, Imavov, Hernandez, Strickland. I don't see him ever becoming champion. I don't think he can hang with the big dogs. That's just the easiest way to put it. Next up is Magomedankalaev. I'm going to put him in likely. I think that his hardest matchup is the one he's taking on right now in Khalilrountree. Khalil's a power puncher, but he has no cardio. He's been training with Coach Cal recently. This is going to be a real litmus test for him. If he beats Khalil, if Khalil doesn't gas out in the 5-round fight, there's nobody stopping Ankalaev as long as Pereira's gone. I definitely think that Ankalaev's a well-rounded fighter. He's Greco-Roman base, dominant kickboxer. We haven't seen his wrestling come out in a while, but nobody in light heavyweight wrestles anyway. I definitely think that Ankalaev could make a decent title run again. If he beats Khalil, he has the title shot against Olberg, and if Olberg is injured, they can do an interim belt for for Ankalaev and Paulo Costa. I think that makes the most sense. I favor Ankalaev in almost every matchup. Very dominant kickboxer, like I said, has that wrestling base. I think Khalil, power puncher is the hardest opponent for him. I think no one else is as technical as him. I think he beats Yuri. I think he beats Olberg. Jamal Hill moved up. I think he beats Whitaker. I don't think there's anybody in light heavyweight that beats him. So Ankalaev, I'll put him in likely. Pereira, this might be controversial, but I have him in 50-50. I mean, 50-50, he could, okay, so he has two routes to the belt, light heavyweight and heavyweight. At light heavyweight, he would have to cut what? He weighed in at like 251, so he'd have to cut 46 pounds. And then if he cuts 46, is his chin compromised? He got cracked by Gon. Pause. That threat is possibly there. He's dominated everybody at light heavyweight already. Khalil, Yuri twice, Ankalaev. So he has the capability, but he's getting older. He's been chinned once already. All the back of the head shots. Going down is a struggle. And then if he stays up in heavyweight, I mean, we saw how the fight with Gon played out. I'm not saying he couldn't win a rematch. We don't know how he does against Aspinall. Aspinall will definitely wrestle him, though. We don't know how good Pereira's wrestling defense is. It's never really been tested, so I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say 50-50. Yuri Prohaska, damn. Yuri just got chinned by Olberg. He had that win, but his fight IQ was terrible. He should have kept, chopping at the calf, dropped him. He said he was showing mercy. I don't believe that. I really think he got arrogant, got caught. Paulo Costa is ahead of him, I think, at this point in time. The winner of Ankalaev versus Rountree is ahead of him. A few guys ahead of Yuri. I want to say 50-50, but I'm going to put him in unlikely. I mean, that was his, fourth title shot? That was his fourth title shot. Took a lot of damage against Khalil. He has a lot of guys ahead of him, like I said. I don't even know who he fights next. Maybe the loser of Ankalaev versus Rountree. Maybe Costa. I love Yuri, but I don't think he's going to touch gold again. I don't see it happening. Jan Blachowicz, no way. No chance. The main reason, because he's 43, or at least he will be by the next time he fights, just went to a draw with Bogdan Guskov. And if they're running that back, if he's going back for that fight again, the rematch against the guy he had a draw with, Guskov is what, number 8, 9, 10, something like that? I think that's his retirement fight. I think that's hey, I'm packing it up. I'm 43 years old. I just want to beat the guy that I went to a draw with. I think that's all that is. I think he has no dreams to run for, a title run, anything like that. There's no point even dwelling on Jan. Khalilrountree, 50-50. I really want to see his cardio, how well it's improved against Ankalaev. I want to see if Coach Cal did anything. Khamzat's cardio was not great, but people are saying he was trying to go up to light heavyweight and then cut down like 40 pounds or something crazy in like a month. I don't know if that's true. If he beats Ankalaev, though, if Khalilrountree beats Ankalaev, I don't see why he doesn't beat Olberg. Olberg is coming off of an injury, took a lot of damage against Yuri. Obviously, the calf kicks were very effective. Khalil, we saw his calf kicks against Jamal Hill. I think that Ankalaev is the only real test for Khalil, and Khalil's the only real test for Ankalaev in this division right now. I think 50-50 is fair for him, but Ankalaev, I think likely is more realistic. Gane, I don't like Gane at all, but he's likely. I mean, Gane, he just beat Pereira. He's only lost to Ngannou, John Jones. He was hanging with Aspinall. He was beating him in that first round. Obviously, the round didn't finish. You can't judge a fight on half of a round. He was outstriking him, made him bleed too, busted his nose. I think that if Aspinall beats Gane in the rematch, I see Gane being able to wait it out. Like he can, I think he beats Hokit. I think he beats Pereira again. And a rematch with Volkov, that's probably 50-50, but like he can just wait it out. He can just keep hanging in the mix, sitting at the top of the division. And I see him just through attrition, everybody, Aspinall retiring, Pereira retiring or aging out, Volkov retiring. Maybe he beats Volkov if they fight. They're pretty much 1-1 right now, so it's not unrealistic to say that Gane could beat Volkov in a fight. So, in a trilogy, in a third fight. So, Gane is likely, in my opinion. Volkov is on a 2-fight win streak. Waldo and Jailton Almeida. I think he fights the winner of Gane versus Aspinall. I'm going to put him in 50-50. I mean, I think he has a claim to a title shot after Gane, of course, the interim champion. I think that he's beat Gane already once, so he's lost to Aspinall, though. So I think 50-50 is the best way to put it. He's lost to Aspinall. I see that happening again. He's beat Gane once. I see that happening again. He's lost to Gane once. I see that happening again. I think this is the only... I mean, he's getting older, too, so doesn't have a whole lot of time left. I definitely think 50-50 is right for him. Pavlovich. I love Pavlovich. I don't want anyone thinking that this is bias or whatever, because he is on just destroyed Taliesin Teixeira in 16 seconds, beat Waldo. Pavlovich is one of my favorite fighters, especially in light heavyweight. I don't think it's likely, though. There are too many guys ahead of him, and I think he'll fight Hokit next. I think Pereira, Hokit, and Pavlovich, two of those three guys will fight each other. I think he can beat Hokit, but he doesn't have the star power to get to the top of the division and have a real claim to a title shot, in my opinion. I think that he, not being a fan favorite, he's been chinned by Aspinall. I think Gane beats him. I think it's just unlikely that Pavlovich ever touches gold. Hokit, man. Beat Derek Lewis, beat Curtis Blades. Blades is obviously his best win. And that was a close fight. That was a war. Let me think. I think Gane beats him. Honestly, I would not be surprised if he beat Pereira with the wrestling. I would not be surprised. He's very young in the division. A lot of these guys are older. Blades, Lewis, Volkov. Gane is really the only... Aspinall, I think, retires after his next fight, win, lose, or draw. I think he goes to box and make real money. Yeah, I think he makes some real money in boxing. He's the most well-rounded guy in heavyweight. The only other argument would be Gane. Well, maybe Gable Steveson now that he's reaching the UFC finally. I think 50-50 is fair. I mean, he's young. Aspinall will probably leave soon. He's already beat Blades, Lewis. I think he loses to Gane, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does pull that off. 50-50 is probably a decent spot for Hokit. And then finally, Waldo. I'm going to put him in unlikely. Lost to Volkov, lost to Pavlovich, lost to two of the top tier guys in heavyweight. Beat Derek Lewis, who's on his way out. Not really a great showing, not the best win. He has other wins that are, I don't want to say aging well, but they're a reflection of where heavyweight was at in the moment. I just don't see him. I know he's a bit of a fan favorite in heavyweight, but I just don't see him having a real claim to a title shot and winning one day. I think there are too many top tier guys above him. We haven't seen his wrestling too much. He was outstruck by Pavlovich, outstruck by Volkov, cracked by Volkov, wobbled. There are definitely some holes in his game. I think that's about it. It's got a nice bell curve distribution to this, so I think this is solid. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.